OG players, the people who have played TDS since release, or well, months after release maybe. But a bad stereotype has been made against these kinds of people. They are egotistical pricks. And why is that? Well, let's just say they consider non-OGs, which are those who play TDS recently, as a subhuman race. Sounds very dystopian? Yes, of course it is. And it is becoming a problem. That is why I'm making this video, to put a light into the OG players' selfishness. And hopefully, those who are indeed these kinds of people give themselves a moment to self-reflect upon how they act after watching this video. But before I make a rant about OG players, I should clarify something. Of course, I don't expect every OG player to act like this. Well, I'm an OG player as well. Wouldn't that be funny? OG players calling themselves out? Instead, I'm merely talking about a bad mindset that people have because they played TDS much earlier than some people. This video isn't just for OG players who are egotistical, but also for you to be aware of these peoples, and especially parents to monitor their children to make sure they are not like that. Let's talk about OG players and their egotistical a-hole behavior. Let me start with a story. This is Jeff. He's born into an abusive family. During school, everyone bullied him. But he discovered TDS in 2019, and he found himself a community that supported him. He's good at doing challenges in TDS. He has grinded countless hours on the game, but he does this to seek validation. See, after all, no one likes him in real life, but the TDS community is there. However, all those influence he gets from his own family, from his own schoolmates, cause him to be bitter. That's the only thing encouraging him to grind TDS for countless hours. He has never focused on improving his relationship with his parents or siblings. And now, as a coping mechanism, he tries to make himself look like the bigger person. He played TDS during 2019, now it's the year 2021. He sees these noobs buying Gladiator Game Pass, and he's like, "Hey, you can't do that!" The noob says, "Why not?" "You have no respect for the OG players." Well, this is not actually a real story, but I think you get my point here. These OG players typically have something going on in their life that causes them to be bitter. And as a coping mechanism, they use their veteran status in TDS to seek validation from the TDS community, even though it will not fix their problem in real life. Or it could be that these people are just like this for no reason because hating is as free as being nice. But let's look at the story from another's perspective. What could make the parents and his schoolmates to be so mean to Jeff? It is possible that the parents have went through a lot when they were kids. When they got married, they have no vision on how they would raise their children. They just leave him to do whatever. But then they get into fight, but they never care about the mental health of their children. They don't bat an eye, seeing their children depressed while they argue with each other. Now their schoolmates probably have similar issues, and their only means of solace is to belittle other kids in their school, because they want to feel like they have a better life. Now there is countless ways people cope with the reality of their situation, and seniority is one of them. TDS players feels like they're better than everyone else because they play earlier, even though there are definitely other people who have played TDS longer than them. Some people consider 2021 TDS players OG players, and it looks like some of them act the same. They belittle people who play TDS during 2024 to 2025 and screams when someone buys Warmer Game Pass or something, as it doesn't respect the OG players. Do you see any intricate patterns here? This feels like a literal pandemic. It starts off with one person being extremely egocentric, and then they cough their egocentrism to other people for having lower status, and it causes those people to get quote-unquote infected and find another victim with a lower status than them, and the cycle repeats. So practically it's like a zombie apocalypse. How miserable. But hey, what can I say? The world ain't sunshine and rainbows, and it will never be, as long as one person acts like they own the world. There's people who think no one should buy an event tower game pass, and think that it should only be for people who beat the event. I don't get the gatekeeping mindsets of these people, like they want towers for themselves and that no one else should have it, because they have these self-proclaimed privileges that somehow grant them the permission to be the only user of the event towers. but in reality, they're just selfish. You are free to buy or not buy the Event Tower Game Pass. No one should tell you what to do. They are not an authority figure. You don't need to submit to them. They're simply human, just like you, just like me. I think it is more satisfying to see people exclusivity get taken out of them if they act like they're superior cause they're the only one with a one-of-a-kind tower. Well, really anything that causes someone to get kicked off their high horse is very satisfying, now that they see themselves the same as other people. It is strange, there are simply other things people can use to feel like you're superior, when your TDS OG status doesn't really mean anything. For example, if you have a job, which is probably not true for most TDS OGs, then you can tell these TDS no-lifers in the leaderboard that you have a job. And maybe as a cherry on top, you just send them a picture of a job application to scare the last remaining life out of them. Well, I wouldn't really do any of that. I will always keep those things to myself. But this is infinitely better than flexing that you're a TDS OGs. Maybe instead of being pretentious, how about you tell a story about how TDS was back in the day, what kind of tower was good back in the day, and what tower was completely useless. Or you can use the knowledge you had about TDS for years to give tips and tricks to newbies on how they can play the game, and in that way, you can make new friends. Isn't that better? But that will be up to you. I'm not playing God here. I know that being nice and being mean are completely free. I'm not stopping you. But as an influencer and also a moderator for TDS, I do have a responsibility to make my fans to be good people. TDS is a crazy roller coaster ride for me. There are some crazy moments, petty moments, and exciting moments. Those experiences I have are expressed in this video. And for this video case, I'm talking about you TDS OGs who acts like you are superior and that Event Tower Game Pass are quote-unquote disrespecting OG players. But you have better things to do instead of belittling players who simply wants to experience how OP Swarmer is when they previously can't because they never played since 2020. But here I prove to you that not all TDS OG have this kind of sentiment because it is just stupid. TDS OG is not some kind of secret club, they're just some people who play TDS since the dawn of time. That's it. In conclusion, you should avoid these kinds of people. Don't let them tell you how to spend your money. It's your damn money. You spend it however you want. If you relate to Jeff's story, maybe try to focus on improving your current situations by spending more time with your family or something. Or if you just like to hate people for not being OG for no reason, then I have zero comments. Thanks for watching my video. This took me a while to make, but I did in fact enjoy making this video for the messages I bring out for everyone in the TDS community, and I encourage every content creator to do the same with their audience. Make sure you as a content creator can influence your audience to be better people. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a like so I can make more videos like this. You can also subscribe to me with the notification bell turned on to not miss my new videos. And with all that said, goodbye.